Ken, holy shit, nigga. What the fuck did Barbie do to you? God damn. What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad Woolly, and you are here again for another edition of Woolly Reviews Hip Hop Data. We got an album review today. We're gonna talk about the brand new album that just fucking dropped for one of my favorite MCs in the game, who've been doing this thing for many years, even though I don't know what the fuck he talk about half the goddamn time. Eventually it clicks like 6 months after, but shit, sometimes I be like, what the fuck, nigga, but it sounds good. And a producer who I'm not too familiar with, but I've heard his name here and there, and his name does some shit that'll kill you anyway, so I mean, obviously he's gonna kill it with the beats too. It's just foreshadowing, that's what it is. These niggas are back. They dropped some new shit. This nigga Ken needs help. Like, look at this motherfucker. Look at his face. All kinds of acne, and his eyes are fucking just shitty as fuck. Like, nigga ain't slept in 3 goddamn months. And his lips, I swear to God, if you smile one more time, they gonna crack and bleed. And get this nigga a Kleenex. Nigga, that's nasty. Fuck. Talking about the new album from Aesop Rock and Tobacco, entitled Aesop Rock and Tobacco are Malibu Ken. You've seen better days, y'all. A lot better days. For those who don't know, Aesop Rock is a dope-ass MC out of New York who's been doing this thing for many, many years. He came up on the underground scene, and then he signed with Def Jux and did his thing there. But then when they went defunct, he kind of went on and did his own thing as well. But then he linked up with Rhymesayers a few years back, and ever since he's done that, he's been dropping quality, consistent projects like Skeleton, his last album, The Impossible Kid, which is one of my favorite albums of that year, as well as the group album Hail Mary Mallon with him, Rob Sonic, and DJ Big Wiz. So it's really cool to see that he's doing all these great projects, and now he's back again in the fold with a new producer and a new sound. And as far as the new producer, Tobacco, like I said, I'm not too familiar with this motherfucker. I know he's an electronic music producer, and he's also the front man for the band Black Moth Super Rainbow. I think that's the name of the shit. No, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, hell yeah. But apparently they've been working together before, like in the past, I think a decade ago, they did a tour together, and now they're back again with a brand new album. So now let's see if Aesop Rock and Tobacco as Malibu Ken gives us a dope ass, crazy sounding electronic hip hop fiasco that's gonna give us bars that we don't know what the fuck is happening, but it sounds good as shit. Or if, like, it's gonna be a goddamn hot mess like this nigga Ken over here. Like, honestly, motherfucker, life is over. Just go ahead and wrap it up, son. I mean, that's mean, but look at him. What else he gonna do? Probably don't want his ass. Look at him. I wouldn't want that shit either. Fuck. Let's talk about the shit. Now, when I first popped in this album and I tuned into the production, like I said, which is all handled by Tobacco, I didn't know what to expect, but I did know, like I said, he was an electronic producer, so I'm pretty sure he was gonna incorporate some of that, and I was right. The beats on here have a very, very bass level electronic vibe to them, very synthy, very, very just like spacious and futuristic sounding, and it's really, really dope. I really actually enjoy that sound, and it's really, really, really dope on here, but it also has some hard-hitting percussion and drums on here that gives that bit of a hip-hop flair and vibe, and something that Aesop Rock can rock over, no pun intended, but it really does sound good overall. But the beats on here are just so unique and different. They take you on a different like plane or journey, like you're traveling through space, or you're on a fucking drug trip here and there, or it's just very, very just like very unique and different and weird sounds coming from left and right. And Tobacco did a really good job just scoping the sound for what Aesop is gonna do, and his sound really does fit Aesop's style, his flow, his cadence, and his sort of off-kilterness that he does with his rhyming. So it's just like a match made in heaven with a very unique sound. And as far as the past Aesop Rock projects that we got recently, this is probably the most different sounding and the more unique sounding, and that's all because of Tobacco's production, and I really enjoyed it. There was no beat on here that I said I hated or I didn't like. There were some beats on here that I had to get used to, but once I really listened to them and just zoned into just the amazing sounds and the things that Tobacco was putting into these tracks, I was in awe. I was like, this motherfucker is dope as fuck, and I really want to hear more of what he's got, so I'm gonna go back and listen to his old shit, because this shit right here sounds good as fuck. And when it comes to that nigga Aesop Rock, y'all know I don't know what the fuck he be talking about, but I've gotten better, y'all. Like, literally, on this album, Aesop Rock really has, like, he still has those cryptic, very, very dense lyrics that we are known to love him for, but I did, maybe because I've listened to enough Aesop Rock lately that I know that I can pick it up now, but on this album, you really just hear him talking more about himself on a personal level, his life, what he's going through, how he's feeling, what he's thinking, as well as just talking about other random stories here and there, or just what he thinks about the world itself. So he's just doing it in his own cryptic, very dense, very, very just highly metaphorical way, and it just still sounds good because Aesop Rock has an impeccable flow. His vocabulary is on point. He be saying words and shit that I've never heard of in my life. This motherfucker's a walking dictionary, but he just knows how to make his style work for him. And on this Tobacco production, it seems like it just made him go to another level. And for him to just be on these beats and sound so comfortable, and just for him to fit so well, it's like this album should have been done years ago, but now that it's done now, I can see why they wanted to work together and do a project, because honestly, these two dudes work very well together, and their styles complement each other very, very nicely. And as far as features are concerned, there are no features on here. Aesop was like, fuck features, J. Cole, nigga. And he went on and did this album completely by himself with production all handled by Tobacco, and it works. The album's only 10 tracks long. It's not that long at all, but the songs on here just are, I mean, I couldn't see any other MC on these beats other than Aesop Rock. So that was a good call that he just handled it himself, because I think if somebody else would have came in, it would have threw off that dynamic that Aesop and Tobacco have that was just pretty much picture perfect from the beginning of this album all the way to the end. So it was a good call for him to just go solo dolo with this, and it just sounds great, and I love that choice. Now, you know I gotta give you my top 5 tracks, y'all, and like, it's only 10 songs like I said, but I was able to knock out 5 that I liked, and there were some songs on here that I immediately liked, and then there were some songs that had to grow on me, and once I understood the concept and what Aesop was talking about eventually, it really clicked with me, and I was like, yo, these songs are fucking dope as hell. But my top 5 are Corn Maze, Tuesday, Save Our Ship, Acid King, and Suicide Big Gulp. Okay, so let's go back up to Corn Maze. So Corn Maze is actually the opening track on here of the entire project, and I really like this song because it's pretty much Aesop Rock talking about his own self-isolation from everything. Aesop likes to be private. Aesop doesn't like to be around, you know, the rest of the world. He's not a very social person. He puts walls up. He pretty much is like living in a corn maze where he's like surrounded by nothing but himself, and he likes that. He doesn't want to be out socializing and doing this and that. He'd rather be at home, sitting down, watching TV, or working on music, or out skateboarding, because that nigga be skateboarding too. Just pretty much living in his own world of isolation, and he prefers that, and that's what he's talking about in here. Even in the hook, he's like, you know, I got my coat on, I put my walls up, I cut the lights out, I put the walls up. Basically, he just does not want to be seen. He does not want to be recognized. He just wants to live in his own world, and that's just who Aesop Rock is, because he's just, I mean, he's that person. I understand that. Like, you don't want people fucking with you or bothering you, and especially if you're naturally a private person who doesn't want to be socializing, that's what it is. So that's pretty much what this song Corn Maze is all about. And I think it's dope that Aesop is giving us that insight in his life, that he's like, yo, this is how I am, this is how I move. If you don't like it, fuck you, I want to talk to you any goddamn way. But it's a dope song. The beat on here is really dope. Very, very like synthy on here, electronic sounding with some hard hitting drums that sound kind of padded out at the same time, but they still hit hard. And it just really, really just sets off the album very, very well. So I think this is a very dope song, very nice concept, and it's just showing us that Aesop is still giving us those very dense, highly metaphorical lyrics, but we can still understand them this time. I got it. It didn't take too long, y'all. I figured it out after like the first like 5 listens. I was like, oh, he's talking about himself. Shit, like that was record time. But yo, dope song. Love how it opened the album. The next song, Tuesday, is a song after that, and this is pretty much just Aesop talking about just the state of his life and pretty much him going through the day-to-day week of just what it's like to be Aesop Rock. And pretty much Tuesday is that day where he just realizes like, yo, my life is pretty much like shitty and fucked up. I mean, yeah, he's a rapper. He's, you know, he's got fame somewhat, and you know, he does his own thing. But at the same time, you know, the state of his own personal life, mentally and probably physically, is probably not the best. He's very, very just like, you know, chaotic in his home life. He probably don't clean up his fucking house. His cat's probably shitting all over the goddamn place. He don't give a fuck. And it's pretty much just saying like, yo, Wednesday through fucking Monday, life is shit. Like, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. When it's Tuesday, yeah, it's Tuesday. What are you gonna do? Like, that's a random ass day, Aesop. I mean, but do what you gotta do on a Tuesday. I mean, like, shit, Taco Tuesday is nice. Maybe go get some tacos. But the song is dope, and I like it, and the beat on here is also just another dope ass, like, synth heavy, very, very, very just like, I mean, it's just like, the Tobacco production on here just fits so goddamn well, and it really is rooted in that electronic vibe and that synth vibe, and it really just comes off very, very well. But it does still sound hip-hop, which I love. The next song, Save Our Ship, was a dope-ass song. It's probably one of my favorites on the album, if not my favorite. I love the beat on here. It's just really, really dope as fuck. It's got like, it's a synth sound on here that really reminded me of like a Sonic music on Sonic 2. Like, I forget the level, but it's like, if you hear it and you played Sonic, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. But for some reason, that just made me like, yo, this shit is fucking dope as fuck. But it's pretty much Aesop talking about his thoughts on the current state of our country and how we need to get this fucking ship saved because it's sinking fast, y'all. And I agree, it's fucked up. But he's pretty much saying like, yo, we need to save our ship because a lot of motherfuckers are just doing wrong. They're fucking up the country and everything about it is just not right. And Aesop's just watching it from afar in his corn maze. He's like, yo, that's fucked up, but I ain't going outside. No, sir. And that's what it is. But it's a dope ass song. He's really, really just talking about everything that he feels about the current state of the world. But at the same time, he's just doing it in this very like like I said, cryptic and very dense lyrical way. And I love the hook on here where he's like, this news, clips of the shifty, crippled and misused, pigs in the pews. Like the way that he just rolled over that beat so smoothly, it just really made the hook for me. And the song is just dope as fuck. So definitely check it out. Save the ship, like, or if not, don't end up like fucking Titanic where you on the door and there's room on the goddamn door, but you don't want nobody else to get on the door. I see you, Rose. You fucking grimy for that shit. Jack should have lived. Fuck. The next song, Ask the King, is a dope ass song. It was actually the first single, and the music video for this shit, if you thought this shit looked nasty, watch that video. That shit is fucking gross as fuck, but it's still dope as hell. But the beat on here is like one of the more stripped down beats. It's very, very synth heavy and electronic sounding, but there really is no drums on here, but it works very, very well for it. And the story is really Aesop talking about the story of Ricky Castle, who, if you don't know who Ricky Castle is, he was a teenager who ended up killing his friend, and apparently they were on acid, so he's just talking about the whole story. And it's really, really dope how he just tells the story, and pretty much, like, I didn't understand it at first, because when I was listening to the song, I was like, who the fuck is he talking about, or what is he talking about? Then I had to look at the lyrics and shit, and then I realized, oh, he's talking about Ricky Castle and the story of him and his friend and just the whole situation. So I think it was dope that Aesop was able to tell that story and paint that picture over this beat and just do it in a way where it's just so fucking unique and dope as fuck. So it's a dope ass song. The music video was crazy. The story of Ricky Castle was crazy. Look that up if you don't know about it. And it's just like it's wild. It's a wild ass acid trip. And the last song, Suicide Big Goat, which is a dope ass track. The beat on here is probably the more quote unquote hip hop sounding beat out of anyone on the entire project. Hard hitting drums, head nodding vibes, still with some really cool synths on there, so I really enjoyed it. And I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. The song just got me from the beat, y'all. I'm gonna be honest, but I know that Aesop makes a mean Suicide Big Goat, which is pretty much you just take all the flavors and you throw that shit in one cup, you mix that shit up, and you just hope that you live. Like shit, I never had a Suicide Big Goat. I was at 7-Eleven in LA though, and next time I go, I'm gonna try it. I'm scared, but I'm gonna try it because I ain't no bitch. But yo, the song is dope. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I haven't broken it down yet, but it sounds good, so that's all I fucking need in my life for the Aesop Rock project. But it's a dope ass track. Beat is hard hitting, probably one of my favorite beats on the project. And I know now that Aesop Rock kills it on the Suicide Big Goats. So that's all I fucking need. But dope ass track. Definitely check it out. And that's my top 5, y'all. But honestly, this entire project is very, very well put together. Like, I love the sound on here. I love Tobacco's production on here. I really became a fan of what he did, and I'm gonna check out his previous stuff. Aesop Rock is Aesop Rock. You're gonna get the crazy lyrical metaphors and density that you're gonna get from him in any project. He has not lost a step. He just keeps that consistency going, and it's really dope on these beats because he just fits so well with it. The subject matter on here is on point. We get more personal stuff from Aesop Rock, as well as some cool stories that he just decided to be inspired by and tell on these beats. And overall, I think this is a well put together, very tight and concise project. It's not too long. It gets in, it gets out. It's just Aesop and Tobacco. There's nobody else involved, and it works that way. And I really, really like what came about with this project, and it's the first really, really dope project of the year. Aesop Rock and Tobacco work very, very well together, and I hope this isn't our first and last project from them. I hope we get another one in the future because, like, I just love their dynamic and their chemistry is on point. And like, Ken needs another shot at life. Come on now, like, hopefully we make some money off this to put this nigga in rehab because this motherfucker right here, he on his last leg. Real talk. So my final verdict, I'm not saying that Aesop Rock and Tobacco or Malibu Ken is a dope ass collaboration project with some very unique but dope ass beats on here and some crazy dope lyrics and metaphors and just lyrical mastery of Aesop Rock that we are known to get. All I'm saying is that beats on here are on point, great electronic vibes on here, great synths, great pulsating sounds left and right. Beats still hit very, very hard, still has some hip hop flair to it, but it does sound like Tobacco. And with Aesop Rock, bars on bars on bars, metaphors on metaphors on metaphors, you know, just all kinds of dope ass references and stories, whether it's personal or just whatever you felt inspired by, but they come together so well, and it just is a great ass collaboration project. And I really want to see what they do next after this project because Malibu Ken is a hit for me, even though Barbie took everything from him. I mean, I feel bad for you, bro, but shit, the album's fire. So all I gotta say is that for me, Aesop Rock and Tobacco, our Malibu Ken is 100% Granddad approved. Definitely check it out. Dope ass album. Really, really like what they did on here. And I really got nothing else to say because, like, this, I mean, I've said it all. Like, these two motherfuckers work well together. They need to do it again. Beats are on point. Rhymes are on point. Ken is not on point, but he'll get better. We gotta pray for this nigga. Pray for Ken. But maybe not. It's be too late to pray, because even God ain't looking at this nigga real quick like, goddamn, nigga, shit, fuck, goddamn. But I got nothing more to say. Aesop Rock and Tobacco, our Malibu Ken, is Granddad approved, so go listen to the shit right fucking now. Flip it. All right, y'all, that's gonna do it for today's video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. Tell me what you think of Aesop Rock and Tobacco or Malibu Ken. If you've heard it, if you have not heard it, definitely check it out if you're a fan of Aesop Rock or tobacco, or if you just want some really dope, unique, just like crazy sounding hip hop that's gonna take you 6 months to figure out. This is up your alley because the shit's right there. But it's a dope ass album, and I hope we get more from them in the future. Previous videos on the size was my latest single. Check that out, show us some love. And as always, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram, links in the description below, and subscribe. Button on the screen, button below. Woolly Reviews twice a week. We are back, y'all. I know it took a while to get back in the game, but we are back. A lot of shit's been happening. Been working with Dead End Games. We're from Dead End Hip Hop. Been doing that for a minute, and all that shit's gonna be coming around. So, but make sure you stay with your boy right here, because the reviews and the videos are still coming. More info on that soon. But yo, this right here is the one, so check it out. But I got nothing more to say. So until next time, I take my leave. Granddaughter, Aesop Rock, Tobacco, or Malibu Ken. Ken, look, like sometimes, Barbie, she look fine as fuck, and yeah, she's a career-oriented lady and whatnot, but like deep down, she's probably a demon. And look what happened to you. Nobody wants you now. Like they already know, oh, that's Barbie's ex dude. Look at him, he's all fucked up. See, you fucked up. Your life is over, Ken. Just go ahead and wrap it up. Wrap it fucking up. I'm out of here.